most. It's not the basketball. It's the people that I get to spend it with, whether it's my family, whether it's my teammates. That's what's been most special for myself. And I feel like those people are the people that know me best. Those are the people that I really care about.
All right, World Hoopers, buckle up, because what we witnessed on July 8th, 2025, during the WNBA All-Star Draft wasn't just basketball history. It was a mic drop heard around the globe.
Hateful comments and threats. Those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization.
We're talking about a moment so wild, so audacious, that it sent shockwaves through the entire league, leaving executives scrambling and fans absolutely losing their minds. This ain't your grandma's WNBA anymore. This is Caitlin Clark's league, and she just proved it by literally kicking her hater coach, Cheryl Reeve, off her all-star team. You heard that right. Kevin Clark is a menace, man. She literally said, "This is my team. I don't rock with you. Get out of here."
At the end of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and that's my job. That's what I'm going to do. I was excited. Honestly, the review took too long for me. I wanted to get playing basketball again.
Rarely do we see a moment of pure, unfiltered truth. But during the 2025 WNBA All-Star Draft, with ESPN cameras rolling live and the entire basketball world watching, Caitlin Clark delivered exactly that. What was supposed to be a standard draft turned into a historic moment that will forever be remembered as the day Clark finally said enough to the league's toxic treatment of its biggest star. The setup was textbook WNBA politics, because the Minnesota Lynx held the league's best record at a phenomenal 17-2. Their coach, Cheryl Reeve, was automatically assigned to coach Team Clark in the All-Star game. Sandy Brondello of the New York Liberty was set to coach Team Collier, captained by Nafisa Collier. The coaches and teams were sorted. The WNBA had everything arranged perfectly, according to their traditional formula. But they forgot one crucial detail. They were dealing with Caitlin Clark, a player who refuses to accept the league's antiquated power structures or tolerate disrespect. Now, for those of you who've been following the WNBA drama, you know the tension between Clark and Reeve has been simmering for months. Reeve, the same coach who has been openly critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark receives relative to the rest of the league. And let's not forget, the very same coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was famously snubbed from for the Paris Olympics. The bad blood was undeniable. So, when ESPN host Malika Andrews opened the floor for potential trades, Clark, displaying the kind of strategic thinking that has defined her career, wasted no time. With the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly what they're doing, Clark announced, "I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care, but I think we've already discussed we're going to trade coaches. Fee is going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rules. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule here. To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. But we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over. Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina." The silence that followed was deafening. You could almost hear the collective gasps from WNBA executives who suddenly realized their golden goose wasn't going to quietly accept whatever scraps they threw away. For the first time in league history, a player had just traded a coach during an all-star draft, and there wasn't a damn thing they could do about it.
The Del Sols, the Grinches, I'm a Kobe person, everybody knows that. It's the best shoe, it's not even close. I probably like the Kobe 6s the best, which are the ones I have on right now.
Malika Andrews, after a brief stunned pause, eventually confirmed, "I just got official word from the WNBA from the league. I am hearing that a trade of coaches is permitted and it is granted. So, the coach trade has gone through as the steward of this draft. It has been approved, and these are your teams." But here's where this story gets even more interesting. And by interesting, we mean absolutely revelatory about the true power dynamics within the WNBA. This wasn't just a random coaching preference. This is Clark finally standing up to Cheryl Reeve, the same coach who has spent months throwing shade at her accomplishments, questioning her impact on the league. And yes, the same coach who was instrumental in keeping her off the Olympic team. The history between Clark and Reeve reads like a masterclass in passive-aggressive pettiness. When Clark was lighting up arenas and breaking attendance records during her rookie season, Reeve was busy posting cryptic tweets complaining about the attention one player was receiving. You remember the tweets? I don't give two sh**ts about Caitlin Clark, some fans inferred from her public statements. The same woman who wore black girls rock while playing against Caitlin Clark, which some interpreted as an insinuation that Clark was racist. It was clear, Reeve wasn't feeling the Clark craze. But the Olympic snub was where Reeve's animosity toward Clark became undeniable. As the head coach of Team USA, Reeve was in a prime position to advocate for Clark's inclusion on the Olympic roster. Instead, Clark was left off the team entirely. And when questioned about the decision, Reeve's responses were as cold as they were dismissive. No was her complete answer when asked if she had any second thoughts about leaving Clark off the team. What makes this particularly infuriating is that Clark's omission from the Olympic team wasn't based on basketball merit. It was politics, pure and simple. Here was a player who had single-handedly elevated women's basketball to unprecedented heights, filling arenas wherever she played. And yet, the coach of the national team treated her like some kind of inconvenience rather than the generational talent she clearly was. So when Clark had the opportunity to flip the script and send Reeve packing, she didn't hesitate. This wasn't just about coaching preferences. This was about respect. And Clark had finally reached her limit with being disrespected by someone who should have been celebrating her undeniable impact on the sport. The WNBA's reaction was exactly what you'd expect from a league that has consistently shown it doesn't quite grasp how to handle its own success. Instead of celebrating Clark's power move as evidence of her growing influence and marketability, they were caught completely off guard. The league had to scramble to officially approve the trade. Think about that for a moment. The WNBA had to create a rule on the spot to accommodate their biggest star's decision to refuse a coach she didn't want to work with. This is the same league that benefits enormously from everything Clark brings to the table. The sold-out arenas, the record television ratings, the mainstream media attention that has elevated women's basketball to heights it's never seen before. For example, during Clark's collegiate career at Iowa, she consistently drew massive viewership, culminating in the 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game being the most-watched college basketball game ever, men's or women's, with 18.9 million viewers. Her WNBA debut with the Indiana Fever in 2024 was the most-watched WNBA game since 2002, and her game against the New York Liberty set an ABC viewership record with 1.71 million viewers. Ryan Brewer, a finance professor at Indiana University Columbus, estimated that Clark was responsible for over 25% of the WNBA's revenue in the 2024 season, a staggering impact. But instead of protecting their golden goose, the WNBA has consistently allowed players and coaches to undermine Clark's achievements. They've stood by silently while she's been subjected to flagrant fouls that would have drawn suspensions in any other context. Sandy Brondello, come on over. Let's get to it, she said, as if trading coaches was something she did every Tuesday. Sandy Brondello's reaction was everything you'd want from a coach who just got handed the opportunity to work with the league's biggest star. I got traded, she exclaimed with obvious excitement. My son hit me up. I've created history. This is awesome. I get to coach Sabrina and Caitlin Clark in Indianapolis. What a great opportunity. Meanwhile, Cheryl Reeve had to sit there and watch as the player she'd spent months diminishing just publicly rejected her coaching services on national television. The woman who once held all the power in the relationship suddenly found herself coaching the opposing team, watching from the sideline as Clark prepared to dominate the All-Star game on her home court. This entire situation perfectly encapsulates what's wrong with the WNBA's approach to star power. In any other professional sports league, when you have a transcendent talent who brings unprecedented attention and revenue to your product, you protect them. You celebrate them. You build your marketing around them. You don't allow coaches and players to spend months undermining their achievements and then act surprised when they finally push back. Clark's decision to trade Reeve wasn't just about one coach. It was about establishing a new precedent for how the league's biggest stars will be treated. She was sending a message that she's not going to quietly accept disrespect from anyone, regardless of their position or tenure in the league. She was establishing that her influence extends beyond just filling arenas and generating television ratings. She has real power, and she's not afraid to use it.